Okay, Year 7, welcome to music and welcome to your lesson walkthrough. You've clicked on that, which is why you're watching this, which is excellent. As always, I hope you enjoyed the weekend, especially the snow. I did very much. Click on this link here to do your Do Now. This will take you to a Google form where you can spend 3 minutes answering the 5 questions from topic 2 of your Lasakawak, which I believe is 16 to 20. We're getting through them now, which is excellent. Have a really successful start to the lesson. I know lots of you are getting such better marks. You can see the marks going up as I'm making a record of them. So keep up the good work with that. On this slide, I'd like you to spend the time and listen to all 5 of these examples. Bailey has a great bass line, for example. Milo, Valerie, Christian and Mazin all have played everything correctly, but there's 2 things that they all share. Number 1, they've played the verse and the chorus together sometimes. So instead of arranging it in order, both bass lines play at the same time. And the drum grooves, they've been really creative with them, and that's great. But sometimes they're too loud, sometimes they don't quite fit with the patterns of things that everyone's playing. So that's led me on to what we're going to do this week. We are going to program our own drums to go along with what we are going to input on bass lines and chords for Don't Start Now. And we're also going to learn how to edit sections, move them around, so make sure that that doesn't happen going forward. Remember, we're all at different stages. If you fail, it's your first attempt in learning. With practice and learning new things like this, you can make sure that every time you record something in here, it's perfect. Okay? But this slide, listen to all 5 of these because they're excellent examples. Really well done. Bailey, Milo, Valerie, Christian and Mazin. Really impressed. I mean, I also had so many submissions from you guys. I could have picked 20 of you and put them on the slide, but that would have taken the whole lesson for you to listen to them all. Next, the learning outcomes for today. You're going to get to know the groove of Don't Start Now by Dua Lipa. So that's the specific drum pattern. Groove is what we call it as musicians. You're then going to be able to program this into BandLab, and you're going to be able to play and record into BandLab the keyboard chords to the verse over this groove. We're going to do this with our 4 steps to effective practice. We're going to break it apart, slow it down, say it and play it, and then play it, and keep your eyes on the music at all points. You'll see me do that in the videos as I go through. Now, firstly, I want you to listen to a part of the song Don't Start Now 3 times. While you're listening to this part, I want you to focus on the drums. The part that I'd like you to listen to is the verse. So that's 10 seconds to 32 seconds on this YouTube video. Or if you prefer to follow the lyrics, did a full 180 up until where you left me at all. That's the first verse. So focus on that, listening to the drums. The groove is a repeated pattern. We're going to learn how to program that repeated pattern into BandLab today. I think there's only 2 of you in the whole year group that haven't done this yet, but for the next part you will need to sign up to BandLab. So make sure you follow the instructions on this video and this code if you haven't. If you have already, move on to the next slide. So this is what our drum machine input looks like. This is a screenshot of it. And I go through in this video how to get all of your dots to look like this, to make our groove sound exactly the same as Don't Start Now. That's what you need to do on this slide. Once you've done that task, which will take you some time because this is the most important part. This is probably new to quite a lot of us. Okay, so spend some time over this, making sure this groove and pattern is perfect. When you've done that, move on to practice. So this is refreshing our memory of the chords that we need, B, D, E and G, in our chord progression. So we use T, U and 0, R, U and 0, Q, E and T and E, T, U for that. This is all written on your BandLab instructions, but it's also in this video and here if you need it. If you want to write it down too, please feel free. Once you've done that task, this is the recordings part of it. So we've set up our DAW to have a drum machine and the piano sound that we need. You're going to record that chord progression in here. So 8 bars is in total how long we're going to have. Once you've done that, I'm going to also in this video talk about task 5, how you use copy and paste to arrange that track. Okay, to make it more interesting. So please follow those things in there, team. That will help you going forward as well. Last but not least, look at your checklist
Make sure you've listened to Don't Start Now, programmed the drum groove, practiced the chords, recorded the chords, and used copy and paste to arrange your work. This, if you follow it correctly, you have one section with 3 tracks, and it should be 8 bars long. This is how we mark your work as teachers. A do now, an exit ticket, and a BandLab submission. 3 things is what I'm looking for from all of you today. I know you can do that, team. Okay. This is the slide with our exit ticket on it. Click on that to fill out what you've learned today after you've checked your checklist and made sure you've done everything. And this is Alda Sakawak for next week. Numbers 21 to 25. I have a really great lesson, team, and I can't wait to hear all of your submissions, what you all choose to record, and if you want to add a few other things to stretch yourself, if you can remember the baseline from last week, for example, add that in there too. Okay, but the minimum is making sure you get that drum groove there and you get those 2 keyboard parts in. Okay, have a great lesson. Can't wait to see you next week. Have a good weekend. Bye.